My God. Alright, what do you do, y'all? I just got off work, just took my shower, did everything I need to do. So one. Let me get started. Man, where do I start? I got off work. I did everything I need to do, but still, man. I almost been in this job a year. I might keep it, to a certain extent. Going to see what stuff got in store for me. I'll probably do what I do a little bit. We gonna see where this where my investments are taking me. This, that, and third, cause like I told y'all, like the smart thing to do is just work a regular job. Don't let nobody know what you got going on. You just clock in, clock out. Yeah. And the thing is, once you start to cash out a certain amount and it hits your bank account, you have to do certain stuff like that. So, you probably have to get a CPA. I know when time comes to me to cash out, I'll probably do the CPA, probably have a lot of stuff, have a lot of stuff set in place. Have a will and stuff like that already wrote. In case I have kids or something like that, I already have it written out what I want. I'm thinking ahead of the game. Life is short, man. Life is short, man. So, don't live with regret. That's one thing. I know that's cliche, but a lot of people live life with regrets. They wish we could go back and do stuff. That's not the type of thing I want to do. Live my life with regret. I had some big chicken tonight, man. For dinner. I had dinner. Then I took my shower. My favorite thing of the day is taking a shower. A nice hot shower. Showers are good. Like, I think it's like, I thought there's necessities in life that you need. Like, you need a hot shower, which one. You need a haircut. And two, like, all the other stuff. Like, car wash. Stuff that you should already have. Like, you should have the ability to get a car wash and wash your car yourself. But me personally, I don't like car wash yourself. Little stuff like people wash it down. But still, car wash. God damn. I realized another thing, like, today, too. Just thinking about school. Like, I met somebody who, my professor, she brought a NBA player, not NBA, NFL player, This shoe brought like an artist. It's like a songwriter. It's stuff like that. And she asked a question today: would you rather take $1,000,000? And the person does work with Jay-Z. I said, I'd rather take $1,000,000. I'm just thinking about, there's so many lanes and avenues. Like, I wouldn't get anything from meeting Jay-Z. Me personally, I wouldn't, because there's people who probably have more money than Jay-Z and just don't want to be known. That's the truth. But that's the point. That's how popular social media, and the person they do work with Jay-Z, but still, that was funny. I know I got some pretty hot takes. But yeah, I would take the $1,000,000, because $1,000,000 is a whole lot. You enter avenue, like $1,000,000, you can start your company and stuff like that. You can start a startup, and you can make $1,000,000,000 and don't have anything to do with like Jay-Z. You got something off your own merit. That's how I think. I don't want my merit or anything based off of because I knew somebody. That's just, I'm creating my own lane, my own avenue. That's how I think. Oh, he's trying to run away. I see him. But yeah, like, you know, Jay-Z as a music mogul, I get that. But, you know, I think, in my opinion, I'm not hating on anybody. I like Jay-Z's music, maybe back in the day, a little bit of stuff, but not really as much. Because there's people who, and stuff like that, who buy buildings, they own blocks, like actual blocks, not drug dealers and stuff like that. People own whole blocks. They can have whole into buildings, like $200 million. That's what the buildings were. They can own like 5 buildings. They can own like a whole block. They can own like how do I put it this way? They can own a construction company or something like that, where they have this thing where they have a lot of money. They're with a group where they make their money and they just separate it and they're buying up blocks, lots, this, that, and the third. Now me, when investing in stuff like that, you know, the first thing I'm doing is I probably get me some land, stuff like that. Some land where I can fish and stuff. Build a house or something like that where I can fish. Then have a vacation home or something like that where I can fish. Good area, but it's not a lot of people. It's low key. It's less desirable, but it's still nice. Not anywhere bad, but like, you know, a place don't get that much hype. Cause there's homes and stuff right now that's sitting on the market. I've been searching out property and stuff like that. I was actually surprised on how undervalued stuff that I was looking at. I was like, there's no way that this place and stuff is like $39,000. The land is. I'm like, there's no way that this piece of property is $39,000. Wow, that's crazy. And I tried to launch one out of there. It is what it is. I'm ready for what you call it, stuff to come. I get paid tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that.
Don't have a good day. Have a great day.
$87.25 times. Well, I don't even really make that much money. Come to think about it, I really don't. But again, I have made a lot of money. I invest my money, but again, investing is not something that you should. At a certain point, you should get real stuff. Like you made money from crypto, you need to get land. But at the same time, what I'm thinking about, like, you know, when the day comes or something like that, you know, I'll probably have some stuff to keep myself busy. You know, my schedule's gonna be, you know, probably fishing more than likely. 'Cause I like to fish. I think I'm pretty good at fishing. That's something. That's like one of my hobbies. And I find it kind of crazy to think, like, if you have like if you, let's say, people who don't have, well, people that who live are American citizens. They live different places. But let's say someone wants to live. Let's say, for instance, they have like they live in Jamaica. Like they're not necessarily expat, but they live. You still have to pay taxes no matter where you are. There's other countries like that where you have to pay money. I had to think about like how that works. I had to think about how stuff works, and then you know another thing too. I just don't see how there's just not enough like literacy in places and stuff like that. Where there's like real world problems and stuff like it's just not solved. Like some stuff is kind of the bigger. I know Elon Musk. He said that if the UN can explain to him how, you know, by a billionaire making all this money, explain how him basically giving away $6 billion would stop world hunger. Would I do something like that? Possibility, yeah. But that I feel like what he said, and it was true. I feel like you know probably in geo instability, like geopolitics being like unstable. Like, let's take a good example. Let's say East Africa, like Somalia and stuff like that. They've had famine, they had war, they didn't have this, that, and the third. And we're still in Somalia and stuff like that. Somalia is a poor country. There's a lot of poor countries and stuff like that. There's no doubt about that. But I realize sometimes too, it's like games, you know, stuff like that. It's easier for someone to get a gun or something in their hand more than it is a school book. That's crazy. But that's the reality of it all. But I don't know. Gangs and like terrorist groups are one and the same. the ideals of a group supersedes, even if someone's taken out, it supersedes pretty much anything. Wow. I thought I was getting a phone call, but nah. I'll probably talk to somebody tomorrow. I'll probably give them a call before, well, yeah, after, before I go to work and get somebody a call. Yeah, I have to remind myself that, because I've been busy with this, I just had to remind myself I had to do that. Until it's someone I'm not playing 2K, man, games don't hit the same. In 2K, I might hit level 40 and I might not. I was just, looking at someone critique the game, and I had to agree with them 100%. The stuff they were saying was just facts. The game is not what it used to be, and it's just not good. I knew that was the person. I got smacked. I'm actually surprised. Like, some of my favorite YouTubers, they're like level 11. They're not playing the game like that. For me, I still got more than ample enough amount of time to hit 40. That's my opinion. I got double XP coins, this, that, and the third, but as far as little time I got left, like, nah, I'm good. Yeah, to be completely honest, I don't think that most of my builds are any remotely crazy. Like, any of the builds that I make, just by virtue of me playing the game, I don't think they're about to do anything, really. Once 2K take out the left, right, I'll probably have a better experience with it, but again, this is 2K we're talking about. 2K, they'll make you spend money on a build that's just not good. And then the thing about the Rebirth is bad. People are praising it. I don't like it. I know it sounds crazy. You get the 90 overall, you get like 30 badges, but the point of it is you just wasted money. Like, you just wasted money. You can't get it back. And on top of that, that's basically them double dipping. That's basically them peeing on you and telling you that it's raining. Excuse me for saying that, but that's how I'm thinking. They allow a meta to be in the game, like my build, two-way three-point playmaker. As small forward, I feel like I should get unpluckable to gold. I can't get it. Everything about that build is bad. The fact that it's a small forward, and then the fact that my speed with ball, I'm one threshold off unpluckable gold. You gotta have 87 ball control. Mine's is at 86. I don't get quick chain. That's the burp. That's a no number 2. That's a red flag right there. So anytime you're not seeing this, that, and the third. And the meta's so bad, the left, right, all this stuff, and the defense is bad. My perimeter defense is a 91, and I'm sliding on defense. And then you have tight handles and blinders, all this type of stuff these people are using, all that stuff stacks, green machine. These people are not playing any defense. And the thing about the 5'9", they can't really block you. Their lateral quickness is bad, but if they stop you in front of you, they're going to strip you every time. Hall of Fame pickpocket. I've been saying this, but again, I personally think the game isn't worth playing. And to me, the game isn't worth you know what, but hey, they already got my money, but the thing is, they're not getting no more of it. I can tell you that. There's not really any game that I'm really willing to buy right now, unless I see it on sale. Well, I did see one, but it's like $14. I might get that later down the line, close to when that expiration date is at. Me personally, I think about like time value of money and how that affects like you in a sense. Like today, I was reading an article about there's like a $1 trillion budget or something like that. We're in a deficit right now, and stuff could be shut down. That's pretty bad. That's pretty concerning. You know, United States, we have good infrastructure to a certain extent, but it's coming at a price. We spend trillions of dollars on our military. This, that, and the third, which is, you know, do I think, you know, our stuff talking about keeping stuff safe? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a good focal point, I will say, but that's just not, it's not smart. I was watching the thing how they are spending like $1 billion to build these I forgot what it's called, it's like F-30 something. And it's not a good buy. Boeing, all these people are making all this money by selling this stuff. And next, supersonic speed, undetectable. Under the radar type of thing. SR-71 was like the fastest thing before they retired it. And that no longer, they put that out of service. That's besides the point, but we spend a lot of money on these aircraft, you know, our military, our defense systems, all this type of stuff. Which I think is okay. You know, we need to have, I guess, a thing, what, $1 trillion, and then we're going and sending people to places and they're getting blown up. That's crazy. And then the troops and stuff like that. I would never disrespect somebody who served over there. I got family members and stuff that serves. But I feel bad for him. And I have to go and do that. That's basically a slap in the face. People lost their limbs and stuff like that, lost their life over there. And it's just like, and for nothing, their death was in vain. And that guy, he got court-martialed for saying that, like Lieutenant Shell, I think it's called, his name. That was ridiculous. All they asked was some accountability, and that man got straight up demoted. That man spent like 9 days in jail. I mean, when you were part of like the stuff like that, you can't question. You know, he was an officer. He got almost making them people look bad, but what he said was true. How do you do that? How do you do that? In every state, to my knowledge, when they send people off to these different places, they gotta sign on to that. Wow. I get tired of that. I'm getting taken out because of some shit like that. That's crazy. Excuse my language again. What's some other stuff that I'm thinking about in terms of like, oh yeah, I know people are talking about people are struggling in the pandemic. People were struggling long before that. The thing is with the jobs and stuff like that. Yeah, when you don't have a college degree or something like that, you're going to be working, you know, 8 something hours or this, that, and the third. You're going to be working 40 hours, probably pushing cars, this, that, and the third. I push cars for 4 hours. That's all I need. And I save my money and I make the right investments in a sense, you know, for the most part. I haven't lost money, and then investments and stuff like that is long term. That dude should never have shot me out the sky. That's a red flag number one. Number two, let me think about some other stuff that I feel like is very bad. In a sense, I think a job is what you make it. You know, you need to have a goal. This, that, and the third. I realize rent and stuff like that is getting expensive. So, like, you were making, let's say, $800 a month. You're gonna need a roommate to cover half your rent or something like that. Find a space. But you know, the thing I think about more so is rent. How people talking about owning. To me, owning and stuff is better than rent. Like having some property and then building a house, you probably save a lot more money, have the features and stuff that you like. Now, me personally, you know, when I get to a certain point, you know, I'm gonna have me a geek, this, that, and the third. You know, this, that, and the third. And you gotta really think about houses and stuff like that. When you are in like a neighborhood or subdivision, you got homeowners. Whenever you have the stuff, your own property and stuff like that, you don't have to follow that. You can, you know, the only thing you have to deal with is the city, what they will allow. Like, I was still thinking about years ago when I went to this little city thing for, you know, for having a sign or something like that for a building. They were making people were building whole different homes. Like they were building a home behind their home that's like 10,000 square feet, and they make people tear the stuff down. some people, it was ridiculous what they had and they approved it, but the people who had reasonable stuff, man, they didn't allow them to do it. They had to knock it down. That's a long process. How to get something approved. I was looking at this home. They did a listing for it. It was like one of the most expensive homes in like Charlotte. It was like going for like $6 million. I was just like, that was nice. It had like a hotel type of swimming pool. It had like the gazebo, like a lazy river type setup to it. It was nice. Not for no $6 million. It was in the middle of nowhere too. I kind of like the middle of nowhere, but then again, nah. I like to live in some place that's kind of tactical. Somewhere near a grocery store, or somewhere near not a bad grocery store, or something like that. Cause no, I'm still thinking about it. There's just some stuff you're not going to get based on location that you are at. Like for instance, you know, let's say it's that grocery store. They don't have a good food and spices and stuff like that. You're gonna have to go you're probably gonna have to go 15 miles for like spices and stuff that I consider to be of high value for like for flavor and for good meals. Like saffron is very expensive already as is. Saffron is very expensive. It's very fragrant too, so I think saffron's pretty good. But like the grocery store I work at, we don't have saffron. Now I'm still thinking about like, you know, when I shop at my grocery store for meat, like cuts of meat, yes and no. I'd rather go to a butcher. And I'll tell you why I would prefer to go to a butcher than an actual grocery store. It's because, you know, I feel like you might pay a little bit more, but the cut of meat. And my, like, stuff, we don't have lamb. We don't have that. I like variety. I don't like too much or just limiting myself to, like, you know, certain stuff. I was still thinking about something stupid someone said, you know, talking about carry on and stuff like that. You know, the one thing is that I understand, you can't do stuff. That's how people get themselves in the world of trouble. Let's say, for instance, like, I don't do anything out the regular that I wouldn't do. Just, really. Like, for instance, let's just say, the same stuff applies. Like, if I don't know a particular area, I'm just not going to it. Like, I don't try to be exploratory, like, you know, something I normally wouldn't do or anything like that. I just not gonna go out of ordinary because I'm on vacation. I'm gonna go do this, that, and the third. Like, you know, being mixy with like locals in another country, nah, that's not a good idea. That's just not a good idea. It depends on where you at, but still not a good idea in my opinion. My biggest thing is like, you know, you definitely don't want to stick out by like a sore thumb, and then you don't speak the language or something like that. Number two, and then two, I realized a lot of places and stuff like that, they're tourist traps. Certain stuff shouldn't be, you know, $15 or, you know, $27, but it is. Like food, Like the maximum amount of money I would be willing to spend for food on an entree is probably between $15 to $18. Now, if it's 24 or something like that, that's kind of where I draw the line. Something like that. If it's like a steak should be more around 18. Like a sirloin, it's like 18. The meat should really be about 15. Sirloin is cheap, but I know they gotta have the labor cost, but still. I love a good steak. I love steaks more than anything, really. Wow, these supers out here actually fighting. I might call my sister after this. But I was laughing. People thought I was bugging for saying I would want to meet Jay-Z. And take the $1 million, like 2 hours with Jay-Z, the connections. To me, Jay-Z's cool, but I know I'm in my own lane, trying to do my own thing. And I always said this, your greatness cannot be connected to another person. That's just mine. You gotta make your own way, your own path. Some people can't stand off their own merit. I'm not one of those people. My own merit is my own merit. It's not connected to anybody else. Not saying connections and stuff, but nah. I'm very particular. About certain stuff. Yeah, I probably had enough of this, man. I'm out. I'm weak.